or to emulate. So let us start. You see, here is my desktop. I will start by creating a new folder. Then I will name this folder wave. You can name it anything you like. Then I will go and right click on it, open it. Then after open it, you see inside the folder there is nothing, so I will create another folder. That means folder inside another folder. So I will name this folder images. You see, so I'll close the entire folder. So now this folder, we are going to save all our items that we want to use to develop that uh, web page. So now what I'm going to do, I will now go directly to my text editor. I don't know which kind of text editor you are using, but here I'm using Visual Code Studio or Visual Studio Code, or you can call it VS Code. But there are some people that are using Notepad or Notepad++. Some are using brackets, etc., etc. So let me go directly and open my text editor. Here is my text editor. So I'll close everything inside. I want to close everything. So you see here there is nothing. So since we want to create a web page like this one, that is a landing page like this one, to emulate exactly this one. So I will not do exactly, but I will try as much as possible to develop something similar to it. Just follow me step by step. So now let us go back to our text editor. So now we are going to create two different files. That means we are creating the HTML file and the CSS file. Then subsequently we generate or we establish a relationship between the two. That is between the HTML and the CSS. So now let me create my HTML file. You go to new text file. You see file has just come off. So but we did not save the file. That is why they put on title -1. So now let us go and save it. Go to save as. You now locate the folder that you just created on your desktop. What's the name of the folder? I think we name it wave. So here is the folder. You click on the folder, you open it, then you change the name of the folder. That means let us name it index.html. You must put this extension .html. That means you are creating a HTML file. The reason for this .html is that whenever you are logging or you are trying to search something into your browser, the browser will automatically understand this file or this document is HTML file. So let us save it. So you see index.html. So before we proceed, let us create the CSS file again. New text file. Then we go to save. Look at it here. So we go to save as. We are saving it in the same folder. Let us locate the folder wave. Here is the folder. Then we open it. Then we change the name, the file name. Let us put it style.css. So that's the name of the file. So that means we created two files, two different files. One is HTML, the other one is CSS. This one we are going to construct, or we are going to structure the web page, and this one we are going to use it to style our web page. So now for me that I'm using Visual Code Studio or Visual Studio Code, I will be using shortcuts to create some some things inside, but I will be telling you how I come up with anything I did here. So now I'll go to my keyboard, press shift plus exclamation mark like this, then I press enter. No, I was in the CSS, I'm supposed to be in the HTML. So I'll press shift, then exclamation mark, then press enter. It will generate something like this for me. Then I will change the title name. The title, let us say practice. You can write any name you want here, but I prefer to write practice. So now I have created my HTML initial tag. Then I want to establish a relationship between this one and this one. So now I will press my enter, just type link and press enter. So here is the href. So I will type something here inside this code. You see this code inside, I will type something. I will type the name of the CSS, this one. I will say style.css. You see? So I will save. So now this means I have established a relationship between this file and this file. So let us go directly to the CSS. You see there is nothing inside. So I will now try and decorate my body. But before then, I'll go back to the folder we just created and see what is inside the folder. So you see the folder has now changed, indicating that there is something inside the index and the CSS. So if you double tap or double click on the HTML file, it will open something like this for you. You see there is nothing inside, but we are going to decorate it right now. Just follow me. So now let us go back to our text editor. Let us go inside the CSS. So we now decorate the body. Let's start by giving it a background color. You see, let us use this color. So if you go back and refresh, but you must save. If you go back and refresh, you will see that the color will just appear. You see, the color has now turned to this type. So let us go back to text editor again. Still within the CSS, we are going to make our padding 0, and we are going to make our margin 0 also, so that whatever we are creating will just merge, will not leave any space between the margin and the padding. So I save. By putting all this, nothing will happen right now unless if we start putting something inside our HTML. So now let us start creating something inside the HTML. Yes. So here I'm going to create a container, which is div container. If you type div and press enter, it will generate something like this for you. Then I will give it a class. The class name should be what? Can we call it container1? Container1. So this is container1. That is the name of the class we have given to the container. So since we said we want to create something like this, so now let us create this one. Then we move to other containers. So let's see. So here inside we have h1 tag here. Let me create h1 tag, h1. Then what is written inside? News box. Then the other one is all the news in a box. So let us type something like that. news box, you see. Then we come down and create our p tag, which is all the news in a box. So if you go back to the browser and refresh after saving, you will find out that this what we've created will just appear. You see them, they appear like this. So what's next? Now let us create another thing like this one. Let us create these two. Then we go back and start decorating them. So go back to my, so we say we create another div, we give it a class name. What's the class? Let us say let's say item, or let's say container2. Container2, that's the name given to this container. So below we are going to create another containers inside. We create another div container inside, because we are going to use the container, and we call it, let us give it a class, and the class should be item1. So we just copy this one, and the item1, what is inside the item1? All news. The item2 should be politics. So let us create the two at the same time so that we can move to decoration. All news. Then you just copy this one, just copy it the way it is and paste below. Then just change the content, politics, and the class should be container2, because if you want to decorate them one by one, you will just call the class name. So here, if I go back to my browser, practice, and refresh, you will see them appear. You see, they appear below. So if you see this one, you can find out that they are moving in this direction, this direction, this direction, then this one also this direction. So we are going to make it a plex box. So that means we shall go to our CSS and call for container2. If you want to call your class, you must use this dot. Then you call the class name container2. We are decorating container2. I hope we are together. But I think before we decorate container2, this one, we're supposed to decorate this one. There is no gap between the two texts. So let us remove it, pause. Then we move to the other containers. So what is the name of the container? Is container1. Is container1. And inside the container1, let us go to the HTML and see. Inside the container1, we have h1 tag and p tag. So let us say container1, then we decorate h1. Container1, h1, container1 h1. Then let us remove the what? let us give it a, what do we call it, a margin. Let us give it a margin left, margin left. Or let us give it a margin bottom, a margin bottom, because we want to remove that space between the two items. Copy this one, paste it below, then you call p tag and give the margin top, say margin top 0. We close this bracket. We are just doing this so that we can remove that space that is between them. This space, we want to remove it. So let us refresh and see. You see they now merge together. So let us continue. So now what next? Let us make our container 1 again. Dot container 1. Let us margin left, we say 40 pixel, so that the reason why I put this one is because I want to move this one from here to, let's say from here to here. So that's why I put it. So you see it now give some kind of space between here and here. So now let us decorate this one. You can see that this thing, they are in a flex direction like this. That means horizontally. So we are going to decorate it to make it horizontal also. So now let us go to the HTML and see the class we have given to them. So you see this container 2. Now we are going to decorate container 2. We say dot container 2, this container 2, well, we also supposed to give it margin left, to be 40 pixels so that they can be at the same line, and we make it display as a flex. Let us see what is going to happen. So you see they are now moving in the same direction, and they are in the same line here. The margin here is 40 pixel, and for this one is also 40 pixel. So let us do another manipulations. Here we say we want to gap between them. So let us say gap here. Gap. Let's use 3 rem. You can use rem or pixel here. You can use rem or you can use pixel. So if you refresh, you see they establish a space between them. So now let us decorate them one after another. This container is container. I could not remember the name of the container, and this one also has its name, but let us go and see. So if you go to CSS, you see that all news is a item 1. Then politics is item 2. So we are going to decorate them one by one. That means we are going to call item 1 first, then item 2. So let us go to the CSS. Let's call dot item1 item1 item1. So let me check their own and see. So here we are going to make it, we are going to establish a what we call border line, border, the background color, and this one we have to make it to be at a center. Yes, it should be in a center. So let us go back. We create the width, let's say 600 pixel, then the height, let's say 200 pixel. Then we put the border should be solid, let's say 5 pixel and black. So let us go and see what happened. We refresh. So you see this container has just come up with something that we want. So now remaining the background color, and to bring this one to the middle here. What we did for this container is exactly what we are going to do with this one. So I'll just copy the CSS for this one and paste it here. Just with it is what we're changing there is just the background color and other little things. So let's go and see. So now we copy this one and call container2, paste. Then here we say container2 here we say container2. You see what I just changed? So I'll go and refresh. You will see it will reflect here. So you see exactly the same shape, the same size. So now what next? Let us give them color, background color for each one. Background color, let's say this one. If you want the color to appear clear, let us remove the background color for the, or let us make it white here. For the body, for the entire body, let's make it white. I hope you are getting me. So now the background color, we make it, I don't know whether I can select exact color with this one. So let me try this color and this color. Let me try my best. I will say red. Then after selecting red, then I will see if I can able to come up with exact color. I think it's this one. Not the border, oh, not the border, oh, not the border. The background color, I think this one is okay. So let me save, go back and refresh. So you see the color just appear, and this one also vanished. So now let us give this shape. You know here there is some shape here, this angle, there is shape. So let us create the shape. Let us create the shape. The shape is going to be border radius. Border radius, let us say 20 pixel for the item 1, and for the item 2 also. Just copy and paste for the item 2, because, and the item 2 we do not give it a color, background color. So we select this one. I think it's exactly this one. So now we save. After we save, we go and refresh and see. So you see something like that nature. So now how are we going to make this text bold and make it to come at the middle of this container? So we go back to our CSS again. Let's decorate item 1 first, then we copy it and paste it inside the item 2. So let's say let's use what are we doing here? Okay, we want to decorate the text inside the texts. Let's say text align. Let's say center. Text align. So we copy this one. We copy this one and paste it here in the item 2 also, because we are doing the same thing. Only the text that we want to come to middle. We want it to come exactly middle here. So we refresh. You see they are now in the middle. So now remaining to make it here to come exactly this place. So let's go and put something. Line height. Let's say 100 pixel. I'm just putting it. We can correct it if it is not okay. Let us just run and see. So you see 100 is not okay. Let us put 200. Let us put 200. 200. Let us put 200. Maybe it will come to the middle. So you see it is now in the middle. So we just copy from item 1 and paste it to item 3. Item 2, I mean. Just copy this one here. Come here and paste it. After you paste it here, you save. You now go and run. You go around, you see it appears to come exactly where it is. So now what remains is for us to make it bold so that it will look like the one given in that